What's going on,
This is
nuts?
so exciting. They get the rest of the story, the actual butt of the story.
Thanks for hanging on that cliff all week long.
Now you're going to feel the refreshing, crisp water.
Here we
jumping in.
go. Here we go. Part 2 of our court adventures to clear the Fetterman name
Wow.
in the court, right? No?
It's just weird that you had very little to do with this at all.
But your last name's Fetterman now.
It's true, but you
So
also
that's what I'm
said
saying.
our court stuff.
I don't care what you say, babe. I was there, supportive, every court date, every fucking thing. You read to me everything. I listened. I'm amazing. It was my court date, too.
Part 2. Here
Success. Part 2. Let's get nutty, everybody.
we say that at the end.
Okay, here we go. Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking.
So
That's the officer.
we get our stuff together. We're totally on time. It's 9:27, 9:25.
Yeah.
We have to be there at 10. It takes less than 20 minutes to get there. We're set.
Yeah.
And we go outside, and our back neighbor, where our garage is where their garage is. They
There's an
kiss.
alley
There's an
between
alley
us.
between.
Apartments here, houses behind us.
And they have a tree that fell on their garage. Now, that sounds worse than it is because it didn't even end up
Wasn't
falling
even that
on
bad.
it. But they have some tree trimmers there with trucks, and their trucks are blocking our freaking car.
Anybody parks behind us in the alley, we can't get out
We
of our
can't get out.
parking spot.
And it's no parking there,
You shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
right? So we're yelling out to them. Tree trimmers!
Trimmers!
Tree trimmers!
Tree trimmers!
Right,
Looking for 'em.
yelling. And we're hearing nothing. And now the door's open. We know exactly which house it is. Their back door's open. And
So many people heard us yelling
So
that
many-
too.
I don't
All
care.
the buildings.
I don't care.
All the houses.
Yeah.
Tree trimmers!
they heard us too. They just didn't want to stop.
Yeah, they did.
And then finally they hear, oh, and they come out 3-4 minutes later. I still hear them going, and they're like, oh, are you blocked? You need to get out.
Was that the neighbors or the tree trimmers that were doing it? It was the neighbors, right?
Yeah.
And they're lovely people.
Oh, my
they're
God,
nice.
love
Don't get
them.
me wrong. They're
But
sweet.
In that moment, it was really nothing to do with us and all about what they wanted to get done.
So instead of going to the tree trimmer and saying, hey, tree trimmer, move the truck real quick, he's like, oh, I'll help you back out. I'm like, dude,
I could have
I've
held
been-
back out, but it was impossible.
I've been doing this for forever. Whenever somebody parks behind, we don't have enough room.
Right.
Just can you? So he starts trying to help me, and I got him saying, oh, you got this. I got Bethany in front of me saying, oh, just turn it to the right. And he's like, oh, no, turn it to the left. And then I have the car going like, boop, boop, because our car has a sensor in it when I'm back. I got 4 fucking people yelling at me. I got the car yelling at me.
and I said, get the tree, we got to go to court.
And I got to the point, I was like, can't he just move it? Like, please.
And then the little trimmer guy, so tiny, he was 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
He came out and he goes, I could just move it, you guys.
Right.
I was like,
It was
yeah,
all the neighbors.
Please move it. Please move your freaking car.
And then, I have the window down, and we're waiting for the truck to get moved, and the neighbor's like, how you doing? And I didn't answer him because I was pissed. I didn't want to talk
we
to
were
fuck.
in
I
a
was like, dude, you're a
state.
fucking douchebag. Just move the fucking, lovely guy, but a douchebag in
the
that moment.
In the moment.
And, I had a tree fall on my garage. Well,
And
actually,
then
it wasn't that bad. The
he
tree just
wanted
fell on
sympathy
the...
from us, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta go to court.
We're going to court right now, dude.
And this took about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And finally they moved, and we got out, and we left, and we got on time. We literally got there at 10 a.m.
Right on time. A parking spot opened up for us right in front of the court. We get into the court.
I prayed in the car. We get on the hallway before we're going in, and right when we sat down, they're like, "Oh, everyone who's coming to this,
There were 2 highway patrol
and
officers.
I asked Sean, I was like, "Let's pray right before we go in."
We prayed before we went in.
Went back down.
We got in there. There's 2 highway patrol officers sitting in there that
One
showed up.
kind of looked like him, but
Yeah.
with a mustache.
When you said that, I was like, no, he's an older kind of real skinny guy.
Yeah, a tinier too.
So he wasn't there, but then they started checking in on the phone. So
yeah.
apparently these people can call in on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So the little court clerk lady was like, Officer Ramos, are you Ramos, are you present? And there was nothing. Ramos, are you present? And then you're, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
And Ramos was on the phone.
Yeah.
Sure
and
enough.
so was another cop. And
there were other cops and
there
other.
were 2 cops on the phone, 2 cops in the air in the court, and then there were 2 cops that didn't show up.
And then there were 2 cases for our guy. He was the only one with 2.
2 cases, correct.
Yeah.
So we had this lovely.
That should be evidence in itself right there. Like, this guy's fucking obviously doing shit.
Right. So we had the person who was on with our officer sat right in front of me, a little kitty corner.
Younger
And
Hispanic guy.
Lovely gentleman.
Yeah, real sweet.
And everyone else barely spoke English. In fact, when they were told that they could leave, they still didn't leave.
Oh,
like
God,
they had no
crazy.
idea. So anyways, I told Sean, I go, I'll be last again for sure.
Yep.
That's how it was last time. So which I'm glad, because what I got to do is educate myself on how every single cop did it before them, right?
We got
how
to
people
watch and
talked,
learn.
which is what happened last time. It's fantastic, you guys. So all the cops that weren't there, he does those first, and then they're dismissed. There were even 2 people for the 2 cops that didn't show up. There were 2 people who didn't show up, and they still got dismissed. They were very lucky. And then I got to watch the first one, who the cop was there and the person. That guy lost. He had to pay. And by the way, when you pay, you also have to pay then court fees on top of it.
Not only that.
His was a $30 fine.
Yeah.
That he ended up paying like $257.
Right. They said the state of
Taxes.
California taxes court fees.
Yeah.
So the judge was like, all right, I'm going to bring it down to $25. But the state of California imposes taxes. So your total is going to be $283.
$57, yeah.
Oh my God, $230 in taxes for fucking. We already pay taxes to these motherfuckers.
Right. So we got to watch all of these. Now, flash forward to the wonderful gentleman in front. Oh, and I forgot to say.
The kid who was
Hold
there
on,
to.
I forgot to say. When we first got there and sat down, this lovely kid in front of us, he kept raising his hand, but no one would look at him to ask him a question.
Right.
So I said, just ask. If you have a question, just say, excuse me, and ask. And he was like, he said to me, he goes, but our cop's not really here, even though he's on the phone. He's not here. Like, this isn't okay. And I was like, agreed. I go, just ask if you want to ask.
Right.
And so he put his hand down again, and they asked, they go through all the rigmarole. We did the
stand up, right hand up, under God.
And then he raised his hand again, and no one called on him. And I said, just say out loud, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so he goes, excuse me, I have a question. And the court clerk looked at him and said, yes. And he said, well, my cop isn't here, so it's unfair. Like, he has to be here. So do I have to be here anymore? Is it dismissed? And she goes, no. Like that.
He can call in. You could have called in,
right.
she said.
Yeah. You could have called in.
Yeah.
And so he was very defeated. Like, he went, oh, like that. And did I say something to him after?
I don't remember.
I feel like I said, like, oh, I did, because I go, you do what you think.
Yeah.
He's not here.
Yeah.
And he didn't bring anything.
Right.
He just had these codes.
Well, he had the code. He
had
researched
the code up
codes
on
before he came in.
on the top of
If
his
cop
page. I
doesn't
saw
show
that,
up,
and
yeah.
I was like, nice. So he was like, okay. And then everyone went, and then he went, and Officer Rimas was on the call, and the judge is like, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, I think this should be dismissed because he's not here, and that's unfair, and I showed up and he didn't, and da-da-da.
And then he said, I think the kid was like, pursuant to code 03222.
It was like, I wrote it, 8537 or something.
He read it off, and then the judge was like, you're right.
You're right. Yeah. And then he let him go, and then right before he was leaving,
He actually reprimanded Ramos a little bit at first, too. The judge was like, next time I recommend you come into court.
Yeah.
Your defendants are here. You should be here.
Yeah.
And then.
But I bet you he was told that most people don't show up, and if he's on the phone, he wins.
Yeah. Why would we not show up? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Well, look at all the people that didn't show up in the beginning. All those
One
names.
guy didn't even show up, but his cop didn't
That's
show
what I
up.
said, yeah.
So it's just fucking dismissed.
He got scot-free. So this kid goes up, he gets off, and right before he leaves, I go, what's that penal code? Because I had a whole bunch of them, too.
Yeah.
And he gave me the code, and I had it, and I was like, cool, and I wrote it down again to make sure, because I was like, I'm just going to do the exact same thing.
So now let's play the recording, because this is where
Right, so they call me up. I'm right after.
I'm just going to, we'll play the recording.
Oh, you got it from calling me up?
Yep.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Bethany L. Dwyer, 7H4N02M7. Right, Officer Ramos, please give your appearance.
There, up front, I'm in.
Okay, and you are with what agency again? I'm sorry.
The California Highway Patrol.
Okay.
That's number 233.
Okay. we have a motion to dismiss. Here's my problem, ma'am. What I need is, the motion to dismiss is predicated on discovery not being provided. But you see, with the motion, I have to have some type of evidence that you actually formally asked for discovery. Okay? That you actually asked the city attorney or the district attorney or the agency, the CHP, for the discovery that you asked for. If I don't have that, I'll continue this trial and order the issuing agency to give you the information that you want. But I need to have some evidence that you actually formally requested the discovery. So do you have it?
I do have it, but I'd also like to say that he isn't present, so
I understand, but you've posted a motion. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? I have to deal with that first.
Okay. I have all
The motion that you posed is insufficient because I don't have any evidence that you formally requested discovery.
It's very confusing because you did request for all that stuff.
Oh, not only did I request it, I sent it to the judge. He had a copy. I sent it to the DA, and I sent it to the officer.
Yeah.
So all three of them had, and I had certified each
But
one of them.
apparently, like, there's I didn't understand what he meant by saying
he wasn't saying it.
It didn't make any sense
No.
because you literally had that. It made it sound like there was a certain type of form that you had to fill out
Right.
from them or something.
Right.
You literally were requesting for evidence, and you sent it to multiple different
I sent
agencies.
to everyone I was supposed to. The DA, which is Gascon,
Yeah.
him, the court, which I put to whoever this court clerk is for this case.
Yeah.
And by the way, on the pre-trial, they had it. They had it. That's why I went last, because they had the
Yeah.
motion for discovery, and he asked if anything was done, and I was like, no. But he like completely forgot all that, and then he's like, I need some sort of evidence or whatever he asked for, and then I was like, yeah, I have it certified mail, which is why you
Yeah.
send it certified mail, because you get a receipt back.
You
Both.
could hear how he's being a little aggro, though.
He's totally being aggro because look, this is all nonsense.
Yeah.
It's all theater because bottom line is I got my penal code. Ramos isn't here. This thing should have been done within
That should have
a
been
minute.
that should have been it.
It
Like the
should have
fact
been
that he wasn't there, I feel like that should have taken precedent over anything
Right.
else. That's at the top of the list.
It's not.
Officer is not present. Oh no! You requested. I need to see. Forget it. You should. I almost was thinking you should have just said, you know something? Forget about that. I don't care about the evidence
But
anymore.
I can't. I didn't.
I know.
I was afraid.
I know.
Because I felt like he was baiting me.
He was.
He was trying to bait me. You guys, when I tell you that you can't use certain words, you can't say certain things, you can't even say I understand. You say I comprehend. I don't understand. You
Yeah.
never say you understand. And if you hear, listen to how many times a judge says, "Do you understand?" It will blow your mind. So,
Should we just get back to
yeah,
it?
go back to it.
I don't mean just like a little letter. I mean that you
I have
formally.
certified mail.
Okay, fine, let's look at it.
This one is certified May 30th, the first attempt that I made.
Okay, but where's the formal request? Where's the paper saying I want such and such, such and such and such and such?
Yeah.
This was the motion discovery and with the certified mail. And
Okay, the motion I have, I'm asking for the document that you posed to the CHP or to the city attorney asking for the information.
This I mailed to them and I certified mailed it and they have it.
And you never got a response.
No,
Okay, can I see that?
yes. So
Sweet.
this is, because I also sent one here and I sent one to Gascon and I sent one to the officer as well. Sorry, I have them all clipped together.
She has her little folder here. Tons of little papers. He hated this.
Yeah.
The green sheet.
And I didn't care.
Listen, watch this.
By the way, his day's over.
Okay, ma'am, is it really that hard?
Listen to that. Oh, fucking
Well,
bitch.
I want to do the best I can.
Yeah, all right,
Yes.
that's
I wanna give you
Very well held. Handled.
You hear me? I want to do the best I can. I wanna be diligent.
okay. Officer Ramos, did you ever get any of the requests for, for future purposes? I mean, it looks like you're very good at formatting and all that, but this is not a motion for discovery. The motion is what you give to me, you understand? What you're asking, what you're doing is you're making a discovery request, like a request for production.
Literally what it says on top. It says motion for
Interrogatories
discovery.
Or special interrogatories and so on, right? So, okay.
And this is, they signed it saying it was
So somebody, this is a return receipt, correct? Well, the signature has been scratched off.
That's what they sent me back, but you can see that it was signed. That's what I got from the post office. And just so you know, most of the signatures that I receive, they're just like scratch marks for you guys. That's all.
Okay.
That's just what you guys.
All right, now let me see what you're asking.
I was showing him
for,
his
because
court.
also you may be asking for outrageous stuff. All right,
No,
so,
exactly.
no, hang on. You know, let me decide.
And for a second, it felt like, because the thing was, and it was, we
Yeah.
received it scratched off. It was like a gotcha type moment, but it's like, dude, the stamp was on there. So
Mhm.
obviously somebody received it.
They have to sign it and hand it
Yeah.
to somebody. That's the only way it will be certified.
Yeah.
So I knew I was clear. Like, it does me no good.
But how
to
shady is
scratch.
that? Someone
Yeah.
scratched their fucking signature off.
Yeah,
Like
and
it straight up looked like someone took a
peeled
piece of
it
tape
off. Yeah.
and like fucking ripped it off.
Yeah, like they didn't want it on there.
Excuse
And
me.
then what else is interesting is I showed him, I had like 6 or 7 certified mail signatures from the court with all the paperwork I had to send them. And I wanted to show the court clerks because I said, remember I held them up and I said, even yours are just scratches. Like somebody just took a pen and went, meh.
Yeah.
And then he just quickly went over it because
He was, he was saying, "What I need, ma'am, is literally what you provided for him."
Yes.
It's like, what is he talking
and then
about?
he started saying all this other stuff, but then it really was what he needed was just the certification of mail.
Because
which is
if
what I
it
gave
wasn't, he wouldn't have used it.
Right.
So it was. He was just. Listen to the rest of this though.
Okay, the first request is not unreasonable.
Isn't
So
unreasonable.
you're asking for any notes that you want on the back of the citation, correct?
Correct.
The traffic circuit. That's legitimate.
We know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, Officer Ramos, did you receive this request for discovery?
You already said
Very
that.
right.
Okay, well, somebody, I guess, signed off for you. I'm just gonna ask, how did you,
Got Bojangles there.
Yeah, Bojangles
Jingle
leaving the
bells.
courtroom.
determine he's under oath, right? Yeah, okay. How did you determine the excess speed? Was it by pacing or was it radar? What was it?
It was my big, Your Honor.
Okay. Regardless, all right, but it looks like somebody got this request and you're not here and she didn't get the materials that she needed. But when did you ask for this? You asked for this in May?
May 30th, yes. It happened to April 12th.
Mm-hmm. And you got no response.
No response.
Okay, all right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and exercise my discretion and dismiss this count. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you, Officer Ramos.
Yeah.
I started fist pumping right there. I was like,
Yeah, I know. It was like a TV show.
Case dismissed. Ramos didn't. She was so bummed because the case before us he dismissed, and then he asked Ramos to, identify himself again. He was defeated. Then he was like, yeah.
Yeah, he knew he was going
He
down.
should have showed up.
Even if he showed up, I had him.
Dead to rights.
Um,
Dead to rights. Double dismissal
well,
right
but
there,
let me give
son.
you this. Let me give you this part, which is really interesting.
Oh God, I'm so supportive and good.
Is
Continue.
that if you remember correctly, I said when Sean and I were in the living room, and he said, "Let me see the paperwork that they sent you for
Yeah.
evidence." That could technically be the discovery.
Yeah.
But there was nothing discovered.
It doesn't
They didn't
matter.
send us any evidence, but it was a response.
It's sent out
But
like
here's what's
car is
weird.
calibrated.
Yeah.
Like,
but
what the
here's what's
fuck?
weird is I left it on the couch. Sean put it next to him. I picked up my folder and I left. So not only energetically were we not supposed to have that evidence,
Yeah.
but also literally I didn't bring it with us. Remember, I was like, oh my God, I don't have it.
Yeah.
And thank God I didn't. But it didn't matter anyway.
So there was no evidence of any crime committed. Dismissal number 1. And even before that, dismissal number 1A, that's dismissal number 1B. Dismissal number 1A, Ramos didn't show up.
Yeah.
End of story. Case dismissed.
But even everything, like, that judge is so weird because he goes, okay, well, he didn't show discovery. And then he was like, how did you pace her? No.
It's like he
No,
was
no, no,
still
no.
holding
I
on to
know.
it. He should have just dismissed it.
And
Because
it
then
wouldn't-
he even ended up saying, and you're not here, and she's
Yeah.
here, and you didn't give her what she wanted. It doesn't even matter that he didn't give us what we wanted. He's not
Wasn't
there.
there.
End
Yep.
of story.
Yeah.
Damn,
So,
friends.
If you learn anything from this story, I will say this: do not contact me about your traffic ticket.
Don't.
I
Don't.
cannot. I don't look. Pray, because I do think that's what helped.
And manifest.
Yes, but which is God just working through us. But I think that if you do your due diligence and you know your rights, it really is about knowing your rights, or they will not know them for you. They will take them from you. Yeah. So understand that. Know that it's an intimidation tactic. So if you have something to say, if you got a question, you ask it, even if they make you feel small or like he's in charge or something bad can happen to you. This is your space.
Man.
It's your theater. That's all it is. It's puppetry and theater.
That was great.
And I don't mean to minimize if anyone does it. Like, yay, this is a lot of people's jobs and they love it. I mean, my parents thought I should be a lawyer.
And just so you know, we respect lawyers. We fucking back the blue for the most part, and we're very supportive of our community. We just wish they were a little more supportive of us.
Yeah, because we pay them with our money.
It's true.
And then they are paid to get more money from us.
It's true.
Which is just absurd.
Shit.
All right, we probably went very long.
Yeah,
But
we did nuts.
We were so excited.
Oh.
I mean, I had to refrain from yelling and jumping up and down. All I wanted to do was jump up and down.
Yeah, I started fist bump.
I was like, yeah.
I did that. I mean, she definitely judge saw me go like,
Yeah.
And then we walked out of there and we were happy and we smiled and we called mom a couple times and she didn't
She was playing
answer.
pickleball, so.
And it's a victorious day here in the Fetterman household.
Yes, it is.
Good job, babe. You did so
Thanks.
good. You did so good.
Do you remember
So
when
proud
I
of
was in
you.
the middle of it and you go, this better amount to something?
Yeah.
Because, like, you were getting stressed because I was stressed.
And it wasn't
And I was
towards
like,
you.
how
It was
dare you.
towards the system, honey.
I know.
And it was towards the guy that you paid to get the information, and he fucking sucked.
Oh, yeah. I look, everything happened for a reason. I'm glad because I would have never sent those motions to Discover. But, yeah, it was not good. It had nothing to do with California. I mean, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But all in all, I don't regret anything because every step of the way mattered. The little angel who went before me that I got to watch win gave me this feeling of like, no matter what, I won because he's not here.
Yeah.
So I got this penal code, which I already had.
Damn.
But I didn't even think of saying that because I didn't realize that him not being there had to be in the flesh.
Yeah, and sorry on the audio there, the one guy with his fucking 1,000 keys, he left and the doors are heavy and
The
wood
jingle
in there.
jangles.
And the floor, it's a really gross place to be. It's not very welcoming or nice at all. But
No.
anyways,
Oh,
nuts.
I forgot one last thing that I thought was horrible, or did I say it? When the little angel guy raised his hand and asked, well, if he's not there, he can't. Did I say how the clerk acted like she knew and said,
Yeah.
oh, we did. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because I just want you to know
Yeah, they
that
can call in and
everyone
you could
is
have called
going
in.
to tell you no.
Don't call in.
But you still do it.
Yeah. You
You
show
still
up,
do
you
it.
ask your questions. Man, what an adventure this one was, huh? Y'all
Yeah.
got a double episode in one
My
today.
tum-tum hurts.
All right, nuts. Be sure to follow us on all the social media and subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and review us.
Please. I mean, just
We're
that's the way you can show us love. We show you love by showing up and sharing our lives with you, and we love doing it. But, you know, it would be cool if it was more than 14 of you.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
everybody. Bye
Well, we
for
love
now.
those 14, I'll tell you that
Stay
much.
nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Kimpses. Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and John.
We are a couple of nuts.
talking